I now give the floor to Her Excellency Ms. Amb Seid, Permanent Representative of Palau to the United Nations, Chair of the Pacific Small Island States of PSIDS.
Madam President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it's an honor for Palau to deliver this statement on behalf of the 14 Pacific Small Island developing states. We align ourselves with the statements made by Fiji on behalf of the Pacific Islands Forum and Samoa on behalf of AOSIS. After more than 20 years of hard work and negotiations, the Pacific is proud to support the adoption of the BBNJ Agreement. From our collective effort, we're pleased to see an agreement which strikes a delicate balance in the diverse interests and positions of the IGC. The BBNJ Agreement signals a new era for ocean governance, inclusivity, and equity. Ocean governance will be enhanced through the use of measures and tools which protect and conserve ocean areas and robust EIA processes to identify potential harmful impacts of activities in the ocean. The BBNJ Agreement makes strides in ensuring inclusivity in the institutional arrangements for SIDS. This, coupled with the more robust provisions on capacity building and transfer of marine technology, will enable SIDS to play a more active role in processes under this agreement. Moreover, Pacific priorities from the recognition of the special circumstances of SIDS and LDCs to the importance of adjacency and ecological connectivity and the recognition of traditional knowledge of Indigenous peoples and local communities and their rights thereto will move the needle towards equity and towards the healthy, productive, and resilient ocean to which the international community has long committed. The Pacific has long advocated for traditional knowledge of Indigenous peoples and local communities to be recognized as a source of knowledge which, with proper safeguards, could inform the decision-making processes under this agreement. Indigenous peoples have a wealth of knowledge based on millennia of observing and interacting with the natural earth, and we're pleased to see the recognition of this traditional knowledge clearly indicated alongside the best available science and scientific information. The Pacific covers more than 20 million square kilometers of ocean, and as custodians of the ocean and its resources, we've long advocated for comprehensive and ambitious action to protect and sustainably use it. The new agreement recognizes the special circumstances of SIDS, including those of us in the Pacific. We hope that this recognition can translate to effective capacity building, transfer of marine technology, and the provision of adequate support so that the Pacific can become ever more active leaders for activities that protect, conserve, and sustainably use the ocean and its resources. Despite our ambition in environmental and climate processes, the Pacific and other SIDS continue to suffer the most while contributing the least to activities that drive climate change and biodiversity loss. The BBNJ Agreement restores balance in this equation by giving primacy to an integrated approach to ocean management, and the ecosystem approach, which recognizes that activities and processes in the ocean are interconnected and therefore should be appropriately scrutinized, particularly for activities that could impact adjacent coastal states. While we have come a very long way with this agreement, more work needs to be done. We have set great ambitions in the agreement, and now we must ensure it is signed and ratified so those ambitions can be realized. Since the close of negotiations, we've seen increased interest from the public and private sector to support ratification work and welcome Madam President's initiative to open the BBNJ Treaty on 20th of September at the margins of the high-level week of the 78th session of the General Assembly. While this is positive, we need to look beyond the race to ratification and start to lay the groundwork for implementation. We need to ensure that at its first meeting, the Conference of Parties is informed and able to make decisions relating to the capacity building and transfer of Marine Technology Committee, the scientific and technical body, funding arrangements, and other matters as required by the agreement. To ensure that momentum is not lost from our work in the IGC, PSIDS advocate for work to begin quickly through the UN General Assembly on the convening of a preparatory commission, PrepCom, to ensure implementation of the agreement can begin swiftly and important groundwork in advance of entry into force can commence. As we consider the work ahead, we also need to ensure transparency and diversity in the voices that are informing states. Just as we did during negotiations, we as countries need the input of scientists, academia, indigenous peoples and local communities, and the wide range of stakeholders who can enrich our discussions around ratification and implementation. While mindful of the efforts that lie ahead of us, we must acknowledge the work and the people that have brought us to this point. Madam President, you, your Bureau, and your co-facilitators have served this IGC with dedication and commitment, and we thank you for ensuring transparency and equity throughout the process. We could always rely on your indomitable spirit and humor to brighten the room, even in the darkest hours of this process. We could always trust that you are right there with us in the trenches, sleeves rolled up and working hard. You have captained this ship admirably, and we wish you a well-deserved rest now that you've reached safe harbor. While you are our captain, Madam President, it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the Pacific navigators who helped us to steer our own little Pacific fleet. I offer my heartfelt thanks and deepest gratitude to all of our past and present Pacific BBNJ coordinators, technical advisors, delegates, and our friends who supported the PSIDS at each step of the BBNJ negotiations. With the adoption of this agreement, the Pacific welcomes a new era for protecting and conserving the ocean and its resources. Thank you all for your dedication, commitment, and sacrifice, which has brought us one step closer to a future where our ocean is healthy, protected, and sustainably provides for us and our future generations. Thank you.
Thank you. Final group of countries.